Hello everyone and welcome to Sensational Women's Wrestling. It's the go home show before Capital Punishment, and tonight we're starting things off with the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. Becky Lynch and Lita, the last kickers, have been in a bit of a rut here the last few weeks. Bit of turmoil between the two. Had a match a few weeks ago back, and that was a rough one. They were not on the same page to start. Ended up losing that one. That was against Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green. This week, have a chance to get some of that momentum back and get back on the same page before Capital Punishment. But they are facing Damage Control members Io Sky and Dakota Kai. These two and Bayley also trying to get back on the same page. They've also been in a rut since WrestleMania, actually. Io was in the Fatal 4-Way Women's Intercontinental ladder match, and she lost that one. But Bayley got these two this match, hopefully to try to get them back on track and prove the Damage Control is back. So we'll see what happens. Two sides looking for more momentum. Who will get it done? As match gets started here, and oh boy, we saw this a few weeks ago as well. This is what I was talking about. The not being on the same page, one wanting to get the glory more than the other one. You saw Lita there, just like a few weeks ago actually, tag herself into the match. And there's a tag to Becky. Becky gets back in here after being ceremoniously kicked out by Lita. They really have to get back on the same page tonight, because if they don't, that could spell trouble for their upcoming title match when they face the baddest women alive. That's Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. You don't want to go into a match like that against those two not being on the same page. And really, ever since Trish Stratus put herself on the outside looking in was when things started to go sour for these two. As a quick cover here from Becky. Just a 1 count here, ref says. Oh, yeah, Becky and Lita, they have really not looked great last few weeks. And like I said, it all kind of comes back to Trish Stratus turning on both of them. She attacked Lita backstage with a chair, took her out for about a week or so, and then a few weeks after that, she came and got into both of their heads in a backstage altercation through the locker room. And Trish was like, hey, you guys, I'm watching you fall apart, and it's my doing. So I'm sure she's looking on at this and pretty pleased with her handiwork so far. But I think she'll really be pleased and know it's all kind of come full circle when and if these two lose the tag team titles and eventually have a falling out of their own. We'll see if any of that happens, of course. You never know what's going to happen here on Sensational Women's Wrestling. You got to stick around and find out, right? Capital Punishment is coming up next episode. We'll see that in the universe mode. But this one here, as I mentioned, go home show to Capital Punishment in Washington, D.C. Look out for that one there. Io Sky. Big boot to the chest of Lynch, and a quick cover now from Sky. 1, and Lita breaking up the pin attempt here at 1. Io Sky, she's impressed lately as well. As I mentioned in the intro, she was able to qualify for the Women's Intercontinental Championship ladder match on the first pay-per-view of Sensational Women's Wrestling after WrestleMania. Unfortunately, she didn't win the match, but she was in it, right? And she looked really good, really impressive in that match, showing that there is potential for Sky to maybe be a main eventer in some way, shape, or form. And here we go into the corner. Lita going over, and oh no! She takes out Becky Lynch again, and now fighting back. Dakota sending Lita stumbling. Oh no! Again! The discombobulation. Oh my goodness, this is not good for Becky Lynch and Lita at all. This is not a good look, folks, here. Not a good look at all. You saw the miscommunication to begin the match. See it here in the middle part of the match, and oh boy, that can't be a good sign, right? It's the rest of the match to go through, though. Well, now they still gotta try to finish the match out. Hot tag to Io. Io sends Lita off the ropes. Oh, beautiful suplex. One. Just a 1 count. Man. But those are the kind of things that I'm talking about, right? And this is something that the Baddest Women Alive picked up on over the last few weeks. They noticed that these two aren't on the same page, whereas they're all in. Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler are all in on each other and committed to the goal, right? You have this on the other side of things. The champions aren't on the same page, and this is a concern. When you talk about that title match at Capital Punishment, you have to realize that, look, we've got a dangerous threat here for our titles, and if we're not careful, if we're not on the same page, we're not committed, we are going to lose. And there's nothing we can do about it, really, if we can't get back on the same page here. And that's the danger when you have these kinds of moments, right? Cover from Sky. 1. And again, just a 1 count here. Now, here we go. Becky Lynch getting the tag in, but being quickly cut down by the Genius of the Sky. Lita is not the legal woman. That is Becky Lynch right now, and she sends Sky to the outside over here by our announce table. Oh no! And there goes Dakota. Off the ropes as well. Both of them on the floor. Now Becky Lynch and Lita, the ass kickers, look like they're on the same page here finally. And Lita said something to Becky as she walked past her, getting back to her side of the tag apron there. Didn't quite hear exactly what was said, but hopefully it wasn't "I'm sorry." Hopefully it was, right? If not, oh boy. I really think that when you look ahead to that match, in the next episode for the pay-per-view, right? That's something that you have to consider. Can Becky Lynch and Lita, if they have to get the win tonight, right? How does that impact the momentum heading into that match at Capital Punishment, right? With all of the things that have gone down over the last few weeks, you have to think that at some point, I think that at some point, right, it's all going to come to a head. And it feels like Capital Punishment's going to be that moment for these two, right? If they win here, that's great. But how do they react to the win, right? Because there's one of two ways. Look how the match started, right? Lita tagging herself in. Miscommunication in the middle with them both colliding with each other after the ducking and the attack there, the accidental attack, but an attack regardless. However, like I said, this happened a few weeks ago as well. This isn't the first time this happened. One of those fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me sort of things, right? So we'll have to see how that actually impacts them. Again, if they can get the win here tonight. Oh, arm snap there from Becky on Dakota. Really good to see what damage controls look like. We haven't seen these two tag in a little bit either. And you gotta think that with some new blood entering into the tag team division here, they'll want to try to keep themselves on track here to maybe get back into that championship chase. And they haven't done that really. But like Bayley said last week, this is a good opportunity to do just that. Win over the champions, puts yourself back into the radar perhaps. Maybe not number one contender worthy, but enough to build off of, right? And build that momentum. Because that's really what it's about for damage control, especially. You look at it from their side of things. Off the ropes goes Lita, and there's another drop kick to the legs of the legend. Io to the corner, now runs over, and the ref got in her way. Oh, but it doesn't stop her from getting that big kick to the face there of Lita. Frequent tags from Damage Control. You like to see that. You want to see that as well if you're Lita, Becky Lynch. And oh, the distraction from Io Sky had some words for Lita. Dakota made her pay for it. Oh, big kicks from Dakota Kai. In the corner, and here she comes. Big boot to the face of Lita from Kai, and now continuing to drill it in. Another one. My, oh my. And now a cover from Kai. Becky saves it before even a 1 count can happen. The good thing is, at least right now, it looks like these two, Lynch and Lita, are committed to finishing this out, and they're not letting the distractions of the match and the things that have gone on within it so far affect them too much, right? You've seen bits and pieces of it here and there over the match so far, but when it comes to it, saving each other is important, that kind of thing, you know? But it seems like right now things are as okay anyway as they can be, and right now maybe that's enough, right? Enough to get through the match and see where it goes from here. You gotta figure out something, right? You have to get there first. It's one thing to have the issues in a match and lose, and you could talk through it and work it out, right? If you win, there's an old saying that winning cures everything, and they didn't win their match when these issues arose 2 weeks ago when they were against Sonya and Chelsea Green. They didn't win that one. This one, however, still in this one, and they haven't lost it yet, so right now they've got that going for them at least. Everyone here looking tired, looking slow, as we're getting to the latter stages of this one. I can imagine, as I said, everyone's looking a little tired, a little slow out there, as expected. And DDT from Lita. Cover. Io, 1, 2. Io not breaking it up in 3. So they win the match, but oh, look at this. Becky's not happy with Lita. Leaving not happy with Becky as a shove. Uh-oh. And Becky walking away. Uh-oh. This is not good at all. Well, earlier today, here's Rhea Ripley and Cora Jade. You see Michin getting in the face of Cora. Had some issues with Rhea past few weeks, and Rhea eventually stepping in as they continue to jaw at each other, right? Back and forth they go with changing words. Camera didn't really pick up what they were saying to each other. You can tell it was heated though. Rhea stepping in and Michin having some words for Rhea as well. And look, after all of this, right? We walk away. Everything's copacetic. Maybe there'll be a match later on. And hey, we get the call that there will be Cora Jade and Michin facing off here tonight. And we're actually going to get that match right now here. You see Michin in the ring getting ready for Cora Jade. And there's Cora from behind taking Michin out. And the ref waving the match off. We're not going to get this one at all tonight, it looks like. Cora Jade sneaking her way in, making her presence felt.
I heard every single word you said last week. And trust me, girl, I respect everything you've done for this business. 7-time champion, Hall of Famer, the whole resume. Yeah, I see it. But what I also see is someone who thinks the game hasn't changed since the last time she ran it. You talk about being the GOAT. I'm not going to argue with history, but I'm the EST for a reason. Strongest, fastest, toughest. And a capital punishment, you're going to find out exactly what that means when you step in the ring with me. See, you can't just live off what you did then when you're standing across from me now. But I'm not just going to tell you. I'm going to show you. Tonight, I'm stepping in the room with Bayley. And Trish, I suggest you grab yourself a front row seat, take some notes, and maybe even say a little prayer. Because what you see happen to Bayley, that's just a preview of what's waiting for you at Capital Punishment.
Strong words from Bianca Belair as she looks forward to a match tonight against Bayley. If you're enjoying the show so far, do me a favor, hit the like button, leave me a comment as well, subscribe if you want to see more sensational women's wrestling content or any other kind of content I have here on the channel. Another tag team match here as we roll on through this one. Our second match got thrown out, so on to our third one. Piper Niven and Zelina Vega taking on Tamina and Alexa Bliss as these four continue to intertwine themselves in each other's lives here, right, over the last few weeks. We'll get more on this one as we continue to get through the intros here, but this has been a really interesting process so far. Want to take you all the way back to Backlash, where the women's Intercontinental Champion herself was crowned.
From Queens, New York, the WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion,
Zelina Vega became the first ever WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion by winning that ladder match. Tamina was not in the ladder match. She didn't end up qualifying for the match. However, she did end up being the next challenger. She put herself in that spot to be the next challenger for, well, the first, I should say, for Vega's title. But since then, though, it's got a little complicated. Thanks to this woman right here. Alexa Bliss and Piper Niven have had some history over the last few weeks. Alexa Bliss is a former women's champion, both on Raw and SmackDown. But now with those brands being defunct and the women's getting their own show, right? Now, Alexa has decided she wants to go down into the mid-card and try to bring the title some relevancy, as she'd be one of the stronger champions in terms of popularity. Here comes Tamina. Everybody knows there's no one Mina, right? Everybody knows that.
And from Pacific Islands,
Tamina has been a surprise to start Sensational Women's Wrestling. Since the rosters got put together, there was some talk that she wasn't going to be able to do much on the roster, one of the older veterans, and she has proven the exact opposite, actually. She is ready, and she has stepped up to the plate here, and it's been as a problem early on here in the division, and you see the problem here. That's already size advantage for Piper Niven, but right now Bliss taking it to her. And I should also add, Tamina and Piper had a singles match last week. Piper Niven was perfect up until that point. She was 3-0, and Tamina gave her first loss last week. Both Zelina Vega and Alexa Bliss were on the outside as just observers in that last week. But tonight, they're all in one ring. And now the chaos can really begin, right? Who knows? Maybe there'll be a situation where we get to see all four of these in the ring at the same time, right? Down the road. That'd be really fun. Who knows? Right now, though, just know that it is Zelina Vega and Tamina scheduled right now for Capital Punishment for the Women's Intercontinental Championship match. And you're going to see Piper Niven and Alexa Bliss in a #1 contenders match. There's a big power bomb from Piper onto Tamina. You'll see those two square off at Capital Punishment in a #1 contenders match for that same title. So either way this thing works out, right? These ladies will all be a little bit worse for wear going into next episode in Capital Punishment itself. And there's a pin from Piper here. 1. Alexa breaks it up at 1. And I'm wondering, with all four of these ladies being intertwined lately, I do wonder how it's affecting the champion, right? Because this is Zelina's first time holding a title here in WWE to this point. So this is kind of new for her. She was Queen of the Ring some time ago, so she has that accolade for her as well. Tag to Vega, now tag to Bliss. And Zelina, little bit early on the drop kick there, whiffing, is maybe she tripped over Tamina on the run up as well. This one match I would love to see, right? Alexa Bliss and Zelina Vega, that could be really fun in the future. I really think that both of those ladies, Piper Niven and Alexa Bliss, would be good challengers for Vega when and if whoever wins that match, right? At Capital Punishment between those two. And there goes Vega flying over the top rope. See you later. Now Bliss turns her attention to Niven and gives her a little 1, 2, 3. Down you go to the floor. Man, oh man, what a start this has been to this one. Alexa firing herself up, fans not giving it to her, not giving it right back, not appreciating the beatdown here she's putting on. Zelina Vega is counted 4. Ooh, off the steel post on the outside. Counted 5. Alexa not interested in getting Zelina back in the ring at all here. Counted 7 at 8. Zelina stunned on the outside, and again, a shoulder to Niven. Count of 9, Zelina gets back in the ring, but boy, oh boy, that was scary. And that is one of those things that maybe that's the goal, right? That's the goal. Maybe it's not to win the match tonight necessarily in a traditional pinfall fashion, but to soften Zelina up for Tamina for their match coming up. Because again, they'll be squaring off with capital punishment. Zelina is going to have her first title defense and look to make it a success. Unfortunately for her, as I mentioned, Tamina has been a surprise since Sensational Women's Wrestling has gotten underway here. So maybe she'll continue to surprise us, and come capital punishment, maybe she'll end up winning that Intercontinental Championship. That would certainly shake things up, right? Someone who you thought maybe wasn't going to be a whole lot coming into the show here, and turned out wrong, and that's a big DDT from Vega. One, just a 1 count. Getting a little preview here of what to expect at capital punishment, right? That's what you'll love to see. Zelina looking a little slow out there as she trudges her way over. And now big Samoan drop from Tamina on the Vega. Pin 1, 2, no. Again, just a 1 count. Everybody looking a little slow here as we get through this one. Man. Zelina, though, she's not ready to give up. We know that she's got the heart. There's a big face buster. Sit out face buster from the champion. He gets a tag to Niven. Here comes Piper, and Alexa started to look for Tamina. That hesitation gave Niven a chance. And coming up next, we'll see Bianca Belair and Bayley square off. In addition to the earlier match with Damage Control, Bayley also told the two, Sky and Kai, last week that she got a match against Bayley. Try to get herself back rolling and back into the championship title picture, perhaps, for the top prize on Sensational Women's Wrestling that's currently being held by Rhea Ripley, the WWE Women's Championship. She ended up winning that one at capital punishment by beating Bianca Belair. That was a title merger match, essentially, is what it was. Rhea at the time, SmackDown Women's Champion. Bianca, the Raw Women's Champion at the point in time. Those titles are no more. There's just one main title here on the show, one top title for women to go after, and there's a kick out, or Tamina breaking it up at 1-1, but it came first. And there's the power of Niven, slamming down Tamina and firing herself and the crowd up in the process. You see Alexa Bliss just got out of dodge there, not wanting to be a part of that, and I don't blame her, honestly. Going up against a woman like Piper, who's very dangerous in her own right when she can get rolling, and there's a tag to Vega. Alexa may not have noticed that she was legal. Oh, no, I lied. She did. She got the upper hand on that one eventually. I wasn't sure if she even saw. And she was having some words to the crowd here. But Alexa was ready for it. But Zelina, right back on track here. Champion. Oh, big Spike Frankensteiner. Oh, my goodness. And now Zelina sitting up here for the end, looks like. Alexa catches the kick and blocks the would-be attempt to try to put this one away. And now Zelina quickly getting the tag to Piper. And now Alexa raking the eyes of Piper. Into the corner she goes. Bliss walking over. Slowly getting there. And oh, suplex. Body slam from Bliss. Double knees, insult to injury. Twisted Bliss incoming, perhaps. There it is! Twisted Bliss connects. Cover. 1. No! Only a 1 count as Vega saves the match for her team. And now Tamina gets herself back in this one and looked like she had her eyes focused on Vega for a second and said, no. You focus on the weakened opponent. Oh my goodness. Nearly took her head off with that 1, 2. Oh. Tamina not happy about Piper kicking out of that. We have seen Tamina end plenty of matches so far with that kick. Not this time, though, on Piper Niven. So that's Piper for you, showing off her heart. And she has, known for that, right? Plenty of other things as well. Was a big part of the wrestling scene, especially in Japan. Then finally made her way over here. Hasn't had the success that she would have liked. But now, with Sensational Women's Wrestling being here and a chance for her to get more shine, perhaps, maybe she'll see some, right? And get some gold around her waist. 2, no. Bliss staying alive, kicking out at 2. Oh, grabbing her by the hair, right back down to the mat. And this is the thing with Piper. Very dangerous, as I mentioned earlier. You gotta think that maybe she has an upper hand just purely in the size department when you talk about that #1 contendership, right? Number contender getting themselves involved in this match again. Both Alexa and Piper will be vying to be next up to challenge either Tamina or Zelina Vega, whoever it is, next for that Women's Intercontinental Championship. Well, I'd imagine if Tamina does win the title, there will be a rematch between her and Vega. So we won't see that right away if that does happen. And we really don't know. Like I said, we don't know what's going to happen until we get there, right? It's the beauty of all of this. It makes it fun. The unpredictability of everything, right? That's what I love anyway. Love the unpredictability of everything. That's why we do this. And look at Zelina off the rope. No tag partner available for Piper. But Piper doesn't seem to care. Hasn't affected her at all. Right now, anyway. She tosses Alexa across the ring. Off the rope she goes. And another arm drag from Piper. Piper's like using the big brain I got, right? Doesn't matter what you do, the mind games won't get to me. I'll take you head on. And I'll win. I said before last week, Piper was undefeated. Starting off really hot. Coming into the first couple of weeks and months of Sensational Women's Wrestling here. We're only in the second month of the show's existence. Well, there's still plenty of time for all sorts of craziness to happen, right? You never know what's going to happen on a week-to-week basis. Episode-to-episode basis. Gotta tune in. Now a pin. Tamina breaking it up. 1. Now a tag to Vega. Champions legal. Alexa Bliss slow to get to her feet here. And right back down she goes. Zelina not wasting any time. Keeping the pressure on Alexa and Tamina is what you have to do. Don't get ready to breathe. Oh! Nobody home. Alexa moves out of the way at the last second and sends her face first into the steel. And Tamina outside now. Going down and attacking Zelina. Samoan drop on the outside. On the opposite side there, you saw Alexa Bliss go after Piper and take her out as well. Look at this. Everything's devolving here. Both ladies, all 4 ladies on the outside of the ring. Alexa coming over to help put the beat down further onto Zelina. Refs count at 3 now because Alexa left the ring. The count had to reset. Now counts at 5, and they're just double teaming her in the corner. Oh my goodness. This is not where you want to be. Like a fighting game, you don't want to be in the corner. Trapped in the corner. And counts at 8. Tamina not back in the ring. Getting back down. Alexa, the legal woman, counts at 9. Tamina keeping Zelina at bay. And there it is. 10 count. Count out. Match is over. Tamina and Alexa win this match and really soften up their respective opponents heading into Capital Punishment. Will we see Tamina capture gold, and will we see Alexa be next in line? Actually, for some interesting opportunities, if so. We'll get there, though. Capital Punishment, we're still a ways away. Got more things to get through in this one. Stay tuned. More stuff coming up in this one.
Oh, Gigi. You always did love playing the victim, didn't you? Out here telling the world how I can't let go, how I'm dragging you back into my chaos. Newsflash, sweetheart. I'm not dragging you anywhere. I'm just making sure you finally pay for walking away like you were the one who mattered in Toxic Attraction. Last week, I had Gia Lee exactly where I wanted her. And then, here comes Gigi Dolan, my former best friend, playing hero, ripping the chair out of my hands like she's suddenly some moral compass. All you really did was put yourself right in my line of fire. You want to talk about being a different person now? About being tougher? Stronger? We'll see about that. Because at Capital Punishment, there's not going to be a chair to take away. There's not going to be anyone to save you. It's just going to be me and you. And all that pent-up rage I've been dying to unleash. I'm going to enjoy every second of breaking you down piece by piece. And when it's over, Gigi, you'll wish you never walked away from me because you're going to realize that you're nothing without me.
There we go. Strong words from JC Jane, but here comes Trish Stratus, and I think she took Bianca's words literally about getting a front row seat, because here she comes down the ringside here as these two, Bayley and Bianca Belair, set to square off in singles action. I'm sure you're wondering what the connection is between Trish and Bianca Belair. Well, we all know that Trish is one of the most decorated women in WWE. Bianca calls herself the EST. Trish, the GOAT, right? So GOAT versus EST. I mean, there you go. There's an easy connection right there. But Trish had some words for Bianca a few weeks ago, and Bianca responded, and now we're here, right? With Trish Stratus breaking away from Becky Lynch and Lita, she's setting her sights on other things, right? Because I'm sure that right now she's maybe wants to get back to holding gold again, at least one more time. And she still has to go through a lot of tough competition to do it, and Bianca Belair is one of those people. And she'll have to go through Rhea Ripley, obviously, to do it. And if Rhea Ripley is able to retain against Asuka come Capital Punishment, we'll see, right? Well, Bianca, cover, 1, 2, go! Bayley just gets her hand on the ropes at 2. Referee saw it in time, luckily for Bayley. Still in the match as a result. So you gotta wonder, right? Bayley also trying to get back to being a champion at some point here. We just saw Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley last month at Backlash for the title. So I don't think, even if Bianca wins, we'll see that again. But we will see coming up, actually, the final showdown, final meeting here between Rhea and Asuka before Capital Punishment. Because we still don't know, believe it or not, what kind of match they're going to have. Hasn't been figured out yet. But with Rhea Ripley starting to at least form her own female Judgment Day, with Cora Jade now inserting herself into that situation, and Blair Davenport being scouted essentially by Rhea Ripley in her debut episodes ago. Who knows? Big spine buster though. Only a kick out at 1 from Bayley. Two of the top women here, though, in the division. No doubt about it, regardless, right, of what's going on. Absolutely to be top of the conversation here. Oh, big counter from Belair. Into the corner. And another elbow. Back elbow from Bayley. And now look at Bayley just laying the boots. Laying the boots into Belair. And she goes to the top rope here, looking for that elbow drop. Coming down hard, and the cover. 1, 2, no! Bianca Belair stays alive, but for how much longer is the question. Bayley looking for the Rose Plant, connects! Rose Plant hits flush. 1, 2, no! Unbelievable! The elbow drop, nothing. The Rose Plant, only a 2 count. Man, this is one of those things that you love about Bianca Belair. Her heart is up there with the best of them, second to none, right? In the division. That's why she's where she is in the division. And now here we go. Trading shots back and forth. Bayley, Bianca. Bianca sending Bayley to the outside. Problem is, that's where Trish is. And now look at this. Jawing at each other. Bianca, some words for Trish, now some words for Bayley, and now, here they go. Jawing at each other. Referee trying to get involved, and Bayley trying to go after Bianca with a distraction. Does not pay off. Instead, Trish gets taken out in the process. And look at the EST. Fired up now. Looking to end this thing, perhaps. Nope. Had the arm locked for a second, but Bayley fought out of it. And now look at Trish. Trish is like, I've had enough. I'm out of here. See you later. I've done my part, perhaps. Maybe not, though, right? And now trading blows here again. Oh, these two back and forth. Chops, punches, closed fists. Back and forth. Again. Bianca saying, give me another one. No, I'll give you one instead. How about a drop kick? Eat that, Bayley. 1, 2. Kick out at 2 from Bayley. The character transformation that Bayley's going on there. Hang on, I'll hold my thought in for a second. KOD instead. Looking to end this one is Belair. Cover. 1, 2, 3. Bianca Belair gets the dub, heading into Capital Punishment and her eventual face-off with Trish Stratus. A distraction by Trish did not go her way. Instead, the EST comes out on top. The distraction by Trish did not pay off.
Please welcome my guest at this time, Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany, 2 weeks ago you made your sensational women's wrestling debut with an impressive win over Nikita Lyons. As a former NXT Women's Champion, fans are wondering, what are your goals now that you've arrived on the main roster? Well, Kathy, first of all, let's not pretend that win was a surprise to anyone. I mean, look at me. I'm Tiffany Stratton. I was the star of NXT, the center of the entire women's division, and I want to take over now that I'm here. My goals? Simple. Championships, spotlight, and making sure this entire roster knows that it's Tiffy time. Tiffany Stratton, I've been watching, and I see something in you. Confidence, talent, drive. All things I know a little something about. We've got more in common than you might think. I was once in your position, bright, hungry, and absolutely certain I was destined to be at the top. And you know what? I was right. That didn't come without challenges. You've got something rare, something that tells me you're championship material. I'm not here to make promises or big declarations. Not right now. But I wanted to introduce myself. Because one day, maybe sooner than you think, you and I might find ourselves on the same side of that ring. Or opposite each other. Well, Charlotte, thanks for the compliment. Coming from you, that means a lot. And hey, if you ever want to see what Tiffy time looks like up close, my schedule's wide open.
Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton. Some for the future, I guess. Right now, it's time to see the final clash, whatever it looks like, between Rhea Ripley and Asuka. Rhea Ripley, the WWE Women's Champion. Mommy, the Eradicator, the Nightmare, whatever you want to call her. Just call her champion, alright? Because that's what she is. She holds the top prize in this company, in Sensational Women's Wrestling, on this show. The WWE Women's Championship. Everyone's gunning for it. And her first opponent for that title is not one to take lightly at all. It's Asuka. And Rhea's been getting some help as of late from Cora Jade, who I mentioned earlier. They're seemingly forming a new Judgment Day here. Not sure if that's actually happening. Not sure if it's, hey, Rhea kind of going along with the bit. But it's what it seems like right now. So who knows? Who really knows, right? I sure don't. On the inside scoop, I'm just a guy here commentating, right? No one tells me anything. I'm just out here figuring out the same as you guys are. But I know what we're going to figure out tonight. We're going to figure out what kind of match her and Asuka are going to have, I'd imagine, at Capital Punishment for that WWE Women's Championship. But first, Rhea's got a mic in her hands, and she's got some things she wants to get off her chest to the WWE Universe.
So this is it, huh? The last stop before Capital Punishment. And I've got to be honest, I'm not exactly losing sleep over facing Asuka. You know why? Because she's walking into my ring already hurt. That leg's been a bullseye ever since you landed on it wrong in your match against Trish Stratus 3 weeks ago. I've seen you limping, I've seen you protected, and at Capital Punishment, I'm going to rip it apart until you can't stand, much less fight. In fact, I'm wondering if you're even going to make it to Capital Punishment. Because if you were smart, you'd back out now before I embarrass you in front of the entire world, Empress.
There's Asuka. There she is. I was wondering when she'd show up. Right on cue, I guess, right? Heard your name, you know the rules. Gotta come out here.
Rhea, last week I had you, and the Asuka lock until Cora saved you. You talk about my leg. At Capital Punishment, I don't need 100%. I just need one opening, and you will tap, tap, tap. Then do it now. Go on. Show me. Put me in your precious Asuka lock again right here, right now. Unless you're scared I'll break that leg before you even get the chance.
Oh, GM Stacy Keibler out here. Laying the law down, I'm assuming, right? Getting into control of Stacy Keibler. Because like I said, we don't know what kind of match we're going to have yet. What you got to say?
All right, that's enough. I can see where this is headed, and I'm not about to let Capital Punishment's main event get ruined before we even get there. So here's what's gonna happen. At Capital Punishment, Rhea Ripley, you will defend the WWE Women's Championship against Asuka in a submission match.
A submission match!
No pinfalls, no countouts, no disqualifications. The only way to win is to make your opponent tap out. Good luck, ladies.
Who does this benefit? A submission match? Rhea Ripley or Asuka? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I'm learning and growing with this universe mode, trying to figure it all out. Let me know what you think, and we'll see ya for Capital Punishment next episode. Be sure to tune in for that one.